All right, it's day 30. I just got a fresh cut. You can see that I'm balding worse now. Willow, put your seatbelt on, girl. What you doing? But yeah, I got like 42 minutes until my next meeting. So today's just all meetings. Some days are just like that. So I need to put a heater in my office because it's currently 39 degrees out. And that room is like an old porch. Looks cool, it's nice, but it's an old porch, so it's fucking cold. And the 3D printer won't even like print right. That's how cold it is. So I'm gonna cruise over to the metal yard. Maybe they'll let me film, but I need a piece. I need to make a piece for this heater. So I'm gonna go cruise over, do that. And then I got my meetings and I got more paperwork to do for the team and payments to send out. And then maybe today I will have time to, what am I doing tonight? Oh, I'm installing the heater. And then tomorrow, I got more meetings, but I think tomorrow, which would be day 31, hopefully I'll get into designing the handlebars a little bit better. So, yeah. I built my first scooter deck with aluminum cut on this. Oh, it's perfect.
Everything, and he's like donating me his old one. He's like, I'll give it to you if you're gonna use it, but if not, I want it so I can sell it. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll go with you. I'll try it.
Whoa. This little piece I made as like a little buffer. Oh, it fits freaking perfectly. This hole is just a little too big. So I made this piece that just clips in and then it like presses down and it makes it so that I can put a smaller bolt through there. It's like a little top hat spacer. It has like a little step in it. So it looks like a mini top hat. And actually it's gonna go from the bottom. And I have to run to the hardware store because I forgot to get a bolt for that, but no big deal. This piece, I gotta toss my soldering iron on, but this piece should set like that on there. And bolting, these two holes will bolt into those two and we'll bolt it together. So, I need to clean up, but I'm not gonna clean up right now. I'm going to just get this all set up. Yo. Alrighty, this is about as good as it gets. So we have the two tubes that will be our handlebars coming up, the headlight mount, the direct stem clamp, handlebars. I have these little bar ends in here. You can't really see them, but they just plug the top. We have that cool little inset here, which was whatever. This whole clamp is going to change aesthetically, but like, it looks pretty dang cool. You can change this so it's like compatible. So you can change this stem out with different stems. You can change bars out with different bars. You can change the light out with different lights. And the fact that it just has like one bolt and like a simple sheet metal bracket, that makes it like really usable. And then this could be wired in a way to where there's a hole right here into the handlebar, and it could go from your perspective on the camera, just kind of like disappear into like the side of the tube, like right there. So yeah, you boys gotta go. I have to do boring stuff. I have to process payroll, which is my own payroll. So tomorrow will probably be a paperwork day because I keep saying I need to do paperwork and I don't do it. But between tomorrow and the next day, I'll make any adjustments I need to, and we'll try to bolt together the next step. And then what's next after this? Oh, next after this will be the rest of the fork. And then once the fork, like the fork drop out is done, we can tie the fork drop out through here all the way up, and then I'll have a front end from like nothing. Pretty freaking cool. Also a pain in the butt a lot of times, but pretty freaking cool nonetheless. So later. Well, so I ran the shit out of the 3D printer over the weekend. Where I left off Friday, I had just printed one of these, and I had gotten the metal for these to make them the full height. So what I needed to do was, these clamps don't really fit right. You can see it's not even clamping on the steer tube in here. So that's an issue. So I had to reprint these clamps. So I've got those here. I already went in and put the inserts in them. I'm getting a little better at doing the inserts. This one still has like, when you print an insert, you have to like oversize the beginning of the hole, because when you push the insert in, it kind of like squeezes the plastic out. So there's like a little bump here, which then when I mount the light, it won't like mount flat. The model just won't be as stable, but it really doesn't matter. Anyways, printed these. Then I did this crazy freaking print with 2 of these at the same time. And these fit like freaking butter. Let me try this one, because one of these is tighter than the other one. Boom. So then that'll make the bars, and I have both of them now. And then I also printed, these ones weren't very good at the top of these. So I printed these, which then will plug these holes. I'm not gonna put them in yet until I'm ready to rip, but those, they look amazing. And then I printed this little guy, which is a spacer for the axle. So I have, let me think here. I have everything that I need to put together the front end, except one thing. So I need something to hold these handlebars up while they're sitting like this, right? So I need to make a little wedge for right inside, like right below the clamp, that like holds this up on the tire. So what I need to actually do is I need to put my tubes and my tires on, measure the overall diameter, make like a piece that fits like the shape of the tire here, and it's like flat where that clamp sets, so that the clamp can kind of set on that piece and it won't fall back, because like there's a little bit of an angle where those handlebars go. So I just need to make sure they don't fall off. So I need to print a little puck that will set here, that'll support that. And then that way, this is another thing I printed over the weekend. It's just like a lightweight version of that, like the full battery. So then I can start playing with this back section here without worrying about the front section falling over. Ain't that right, girl? So I need to get my pump, my air pump. I feel like I'm forgetting something. And then I need to choose what tires to put on here, and I need to just freaking do it. So let's go do it. I'm pretty stoked at how this all worked out. It's pretty cool. This motor tire fit beautifully in the first thing that I built for it. Just a little stand. So now I'm gonna take a few minutes, measure this guy up, mock something up. I have to model it. Then I'll print it, and then after that, while that's printing, I got some new handlebars. I returned those, the ones from Amazon. So we'll open those up. What the fuck? Yo. Oh, last thing. Last fucking thing. Well, I already returned the Amazon ones, so not to jinx myself, but I hope these are the right fit. Look at that angle though. I much prefer the angular look. The really basic ones were kind of like smoothed over and stuff. Yo, these are insane. Okay. Yup. All right, today's been a bit of an adventure. I was down at the gym thinking about this problem that I have this morning while working out. So what's going on is with the handlebars on here, this pushes back and down. And you can't really tell, but this whole shelf, let me see if I can somehow do it. This whole shelf flexes. And then what that does is that will push the deck down, and then these guys here that I'm printing to set the deck on aren't in the right place because this is going down. So after the gym, I went and got this. This is a giant chunk of aluminum. I got pretty lucky because I would have had to buy this retail, like new price. But they had like this piece of metal barely sticking up on top of this pallet rack, like in the dungeon. And I was able to like be like, what's that? And sure enough, it was almost a perfect size chunk of 1/4 inch aluminum. So that whole thing was $40. A new one would have been 200. So I'm gonna set that in this instead of this shelf, and that'll give everything like a little bit more rigidity and structure. So I'm gonna hit that quick, and then what else do I got? Oh, I printed up here on my workbench. I printed new deck components. So this is what a first version looks like right here. It's not looking great, but we got to start somewhere, just like we did with the handlebars. So get this on, and then I'll glue that up, and we'll kind of set some stuff up here and see what it looks like. This is the print that I did last night, because this took 11 hours. This is one little frame rail. This is 2. I don't love like everything I have going on with this design. I have a lot more to do on it, but that's what Tom's coming to town for. I don't think he realizes what we're working on. I haven't talked to him very much. But yeah, we're just gonna mock up some deck stuff. Well, that looks like shit. That looks less like shit. That looks great. That looks great. So, this goes roughly here. My idea is this, and this. Yo, it actually is the right height. What? What? Did you just see that? So I think I need to add a bend here, because originally I was gonna like kind of splice it and re-weld it, but I think a bend there. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I think that's surprisingly good. Yeah, so that's all I'm gonna do today with it. Glad I tried the solder instead of waiting for hours for the glue to dry. It's getting dark out. So that'll be like a massive win, because it takes like seconds to do something that took me like hours before. But yeah, I think next time, trying to think what I'm gonna probably do next. I don't feel like redrawing the deck before Tom gets here. It sounds like something we could just do together, and like hash it out. So I might not do a lot the next couple days. I might take a few days off and then clock back in when Tom gets here, because that just sounds like way more approachable. But yeah, I mean, I'm working on a list for what we're gonna do, and then he'll show up and we'll probably work all day every day and run the printer at night, and we should have a freaking scooter done. Well, probably not done. We should have most of the things mocked up by the time he takes off, which is pretty freaking cool. So that's it. That's a wrap. We're getting closer every couple days. It looks better. It looks more finished.